What is good, rookies? It is time for our round 8 review. We've got a hat on and we'll get into why. Firstly, just a shout out. Amazing subscribers. You guys have been showing all the love and support. Members, Yaron being the recent, thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate all you guys. Let's get into the Wild West, where we're shooting from the hip, as some would say. We had a ripper week. 2509. We had some of our pods absolutely go nuts. And we also had the captaincy on Gorn. Overall, a very, very nice week. Much better than last week. And we've pretty much halved our ranking. So we went from top 5% and we've now shot all the way back to the top 2%. So our grind back into the top 1% is looking very nice. Need to make some big moves this week. Our team value is probably behind where we want it at the moment. We're still going to play the value game. Maybe. We're missing big names. But overall, we're sitting pretty nice. As I said, we just want to finish. Our goal for the season is to finish in the top 1%. If we can somehow find our way to get back into the top 1K, that's like the optimal goal here. Again, second year in, we're flying. Can't complain. Let's get into the team just to see how it all went. Now, our backline did okay. Didn't do amazing, but it did okay. Whitfield, being tagged, did a 111. Amazing stuff. On a smaller ground too. Really can't complain here. He's got a higher break even, so he is going to come down in price. He has Geelong at GMHBA Stadium. I'm not expecting massive scores here either, so his price is probably going to plummet a fair bit. But then we should see some decent scores come to fruition. Sheasel, seems like that halfback role is going to stick. So really excited to see what he does against Brisbane. And then he's got Richmond and Collingwood coming up, along with West Coast in the mix. So really, really cool things. Sinclair's an interesting one. Now, me and Supercoach Pro did a bit more of a deep dive on our Supercoach After Dark stream, if you were around there. Nothing's really changed for Sinclair's role. His heat maps are relatively similar. The only difference is he's being probably more accountable in the back line. We didn't have a lot of kick-ins against Freo as well, so his floor wasn't as safe. He's just not playing that transition ball as much as he was at the start, which is what led to those spike scores. So I'm still not too worried about Sinclair. He's going to be at a really good price. He already is at a 533 and a high break even. He has all chances to do this at the MCG against Carlton. And he's got West Coast. Some big games coming. So perfect time to jump on him this week or next. But an 83 just unders. Zorko, 95 is probably very much a kissed score. He got piggy in the last few minutes there. This really was an 80-85. So some flags to be concerned for Zorko, but again, we hold him. He's at a price, really 500k. If you started him or you traded him in, you're just going through this ride. Roberts 82, again, not horrible. Back to that floor score. Sydney just didn't play all that well overall. Like we saw bias go down. Like it wasn't that great of a game, competitiveness wise, for the back line. It just is what it is. And then a down game for bias. Tobias has a break even of 71 now, which is very much achievable. They do have Essendon, so I definitely don't think it's a trade out. I still think you hold here, or at least give it one more week and then potentially flip him. Pryor of 57, who would have thought that would be the highest score of our rookies per se? But he's got a really high break even of 74 now, so he's a trade out for this week. And Carroll just doing enough. Still, no alarm bells just yet, can hold on. Our two pods sitting at M1 and M2. We had Newcomb crawl his way to a 123. This could have been more. Just had a slow start to the game. Richards, this Ranger is my favorite player at the moment. Just seeing him being able to read the play, the IQ, the positioning, having Bont back in the team has opened up so much for him. And this is what I was banking on. It was going to be that second banana with Libba the start of the season, and then when Bont comes in, he's still going to be maybe that 2 or 3rd cog in the machine, but he's also very strong around the ball as well. Doesn't have to be completely into that centre bounce. He gets to the transition ball as well. Debut for track, 129. We are going to eventually swing him into the forward line, but for the moment, we don't have to worry about it. Very nice score. Dunkley crawled his way to a 109 while tagging Rao. This is good. Still some time on the wing, I believe. We will go into Dunkley a bit more this week just because he is at a very gettable price now. At 521. So his bottom out price has North, then Melbourne. the run's looking really good. So I think Dunkley's a very good pickup option. Chera, again, just a floor score of 82. I don't think there's anything to worry about here. I think you still hold. Ashcroft did an amazing thing. I'm so glad we held on. We were going to use him to get track, but now we did pretty much a sideways with Oliver. Again, the whole Oliver situation just reeks of more than 1 week. But he also hasn't been that player. He wasn't a primo that we're holding. He was a stepping stone. He proved that. It's just someone we were hoping to hold till buys. So Levi, 99. Amazing stuff. His break even is now 51. So he's probably got like maybe 1 or 2 more weeks that we can get out of him, get to that 400k mark. Lindsay, again, not too much of a concern. Maybe not as a fieldable option. So we might need to try and figure out a way to get him off field, but we'll see what happens. And then Huswaite, an 82. Very, very good. A bit annoying that we had to go early on him. We don't even have Bustlinger as an option at the moment. I mean, he still could be depending on team sheets, but that sub game just ruins his cash gen. Boxall played very well as a debut, but again, going to have to go early if we want to do like a 1 up, 1 down. And then our bench, we're not even talking about because it's dead. Our captaincy and Gorn, a 198, could have double tonned. Where was the scaling? And then TDK, lowest score of the season. But coming up against Romo should do okay. Hopefully we don't see Pitnet named. Voss will probably name him. And then we get to the Francis, 92. This is a floor score, I think. That win was shocker. He added a couple of goals to this, and that's an easy 110. So I think that's perfect. Rankin, a 138. Amazing. Smith, just doing exactly what's needed. And then McRae jumped out for a 160 as well. Very, very solid. Very high owned, though. So it's nothing too crazy because we all got it. Daniel, 89. I know there's a lot of concerns about Daniel at the moment. But there's nothing, like he's got a floor of basically 80s at the moment. So not a major concern. You still take that. And then Cleary is 63. You take it. You take it. Again, it wasn't a great game for Sydney. Like I think they got away with the win, but it just wasn't a great game. Kako is 60 as well, so fights another day. Being the slowest of burns at this point, but he's there. And then Flynn. Flynn's going to be the major talk this week. He comes up against Snake this week, has a break even of 68 now. Does he get dropped? Does he hold his position? Archer Reed looks injured. Will they give him a rest and bring in, say, BJ Williams? And will they play both? There's a lot of different avenues that Flynn could go. But he seems like a prime trade, our target. He's got a lot of cash on him. We could really do a pry down, Flynn up to anyone we want. So that's probably the most likely trade here, and we're still saving that boost. And it is hard not having this cash gen on the bench, but we don't have anyone else at the moment to replace that with. So until we have people put their name up to be selected as rookies, we kind of have to hold these at the moment, which is okay because we are getting some cash gen otherwise. So it's not the worst case, but again, we really don't want to have to keep going early. So overall, very happy with the team. I said at the start of our last review that the team we had before trades could have achieved a 2400 plus. The upgrades that we made definitely allowed us to achieve a 2500 plus. That's perfect. Look, honestly, at this point, I'm very happy with how the team's sitting. Very keen to keep the upgrade cadence going and get another rookie off field, or at least get a premium into flex if Flynn is moving out. So we could potentially, move Pryor down to a Boxall and swing Al Hooley back, which is what we're going to look at. So we're just going to go through some early trade avenues, basically. So if we look at break evens, we're going to swing Al Hooley back here, and we're going to grab Boxall. Now he looked very good, had a 75. It's just that Ross line roll. I'm not sure how we feel about it. So we're going to bring him in, which means we have 237. So a 237 is really, really handy for us because we can pretty much put that on anyone. Now, if we were to try to move on dead weight, so let's just say Flynn doesn't get dropped. Who can we move on that's actually going to give us something useful? Well, we can, for example, move Kako out. Swing Petrarca in there. And if we just see who we have available to us, is there anyone worth grabbing? Not really. Not at 471. No, not really. No. So not even a Kako can get us anywhere. What about on the forward line? Nope. We don't want to really grab a key forward either. So there's no one really available around this mark at this point. Dylan Moore, I don't trust at all, but he's going to be very, very cheap. So is Shai Bolton. So he might be a nice little loop option at F6 once his price drops. Because he's got a break even of 151. He's been pretty solid this season so far. Lowest score of 57 outside of this game. Some decent scores here. So he's going to drop well below 400. So very good options here. But essentially, we don't have quite enough just yet on the other rookies to do anything. So it might actually just be Flynn regardless. And this is where we have a lot of options. Now I'm going to do a 3-round average. Lockie's been awesome. Merritt is honestly, because if we look at our midfield here, we don't have any of the big names of what we would deem top 5 in the mids just yet. This is kind of a problem for the overall team structure at the moment, in the essence of, yes, we have Gawn as our captaincy option, but can he be that every week? And unfair to say so. We've just had some really good matchups at the moment for Gawn. Merritt is a target purely because he's about to go up again. We missed a Dacos. We missed Bont. We're still waiting on Bont and Butters. Does it really hurt us if we grab him for just under 600? Or can we go with Dawson, who is like literally the next person I want to look at? Because he's at 521 now. Break even is 74. Has a decent run coming up with Port, Collingwood, West Coast. Then he's got a tag coming in at Sydney, but then he's got Brisbane Hawks, which will be tougher. Then he's got Richmond and Melbourne and Bulldogs. So Dawson's definitely, it's literally probably for me, Merritt or Dawson. Now, I could play the value game, and I say could, and I should play the value game and grab him. Now, Dacos is also a sneaky shout. He's been playing very well this season. Floor score of 59. Outside of that, been relatively pretty good. Collingwood are in ripper form. Side bottom as well, somehow. Averaging 107. Like, look at this. Crazy stuff. I don't think anyone's risky enough to go there. But yeah, I think at this point, it's literally Dawson or Merritt for us. I'm fairly sure they share the same buy, but at this point, let's just grab Merritt. We'll look at trade targets and everything in our trade talk video. But we'll see what happens. We expect a tag this week as well. He went 74 with tag game, but then he's gone like 130s. Jordan hasn't been seeming to do a lot, like very much with tags. Like he let Whitfield go off for a 111. So I don't think we'll see a very hard tag. Like we won't see a 70 score. We might, honestly, at this point, you could get away with not grabbing him and pick him up next week. Like maybe we flip a Echo and Ashcroft to grab him. Yeah, because if we grab Dawson this week, which is, now that I talk it out loud, probably the better option. Again, we'll go into more detail, but if we grab, where's this man? A Dawson, we have 100k left over moving into next week, which means, again, that helps us a lot with our trade cadence because we really want to save this boost to really correct rookies when we have them. Like we want to go bang, upgrade, get an extra like 3 rookies, get an extra primo win, but then correct some dead rooks potentially. So this is what we could look at. Now, again, this still means that we're fielded. I still think we got 1, 4, and then 5. But then we got a nice flex position in Dawson. Now, Dawson, again, he could potentially go back to, these horrible scores. But if we look, it's not a consistent. He's going massive, decent, low, decent. He's got some nice matchups on the way. Yes, he's got that tag A coming in, but he is very flexible, which means that the tag probably won't stick. Anyway, we'll go into more detail. But at this point, it's Dawson just for the value game. I do love getting Merritt, though. He has such a good run coming up. It's going to be very, very tricky. And I don't like not having a big name in the midfield yet. So we'll see. It's going to be a tricky one. But I like what Dawson does for our team overall. So there are our early trade thoughts. If you guys are watching this at the late night upload, which will be close to 12:30 by the time this is uploaded, I imagine. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging around, being an absolute Supercoach degenerate. The reason why I did wear the hat is because our pods popped off for a 123 and a 156, shooting from the hip, as some would say, referencing Dossie. the Pew Pew. So you guys probably know the boys from Code Sports. You know who it is. But thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your time. Make sure you leave a like on the video, hit the subscribe, and hey, if you want to show the extra support, there is the option to join the membership as well. Currently, there is no membership content as the members just want to support the content that I'm pushing out at the moment. So you guys are absolute legends, foremost for that. But memberships do have the ability, if you are a member, feel free to ask all the questions. We can do team reviews, whatever you want to do. So hit that subscribe button, become a member if you so wish, and follow me on X at RookieCoachAFL. And I'll see you guys for our trade talk coming up. Cheers.